I love it when I sign on and people are waiting. Let's go. Let's get excited. Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, here to walk you through your first day of this Carolina Panthers team being in pads, practicing violently, as Coach Dave Canales likes to talk about. Yeah, there were a little bit of chippiness that happened. Where's the word chippy? I don't like chippy. I don't even know why I said that. Some fights, some slapping of the helmets and things like that took place today. And we're going to go through it. So the order of the show is first, subscribe to the channel if you're watching. If you have not done so, help us get to 20,000 subscribers. You know why that helps? These videos that I'm cranking out, these player interviews that I do, it all helps. The bigger I grow, the more I can do. And I love working for you all, getting you the content that you love. So hopefully you'll consider doing that. And if you have already subscribed, then just go ahead and hit the like button. Leave a comment. Those things help the algorithm show this video to other Carolina Panther fans. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. First day of practice was a hot one. And for some strange reason, Chuba Hubbard, being from, up north in Canada, said that he doesn't even realize whether it's hot or cold. He just goes out there to do his job in practice. Yeah, Chuba, what you said, because you might complain any weather, but you definitely feel it. So, nevertheless, got a great show lined up for you this afternoon. We got photographs from our very, very talented photographer, Patrick Snyder, that we're going to go through. And then we have some player and coach interviews that I'm going to play some snippets from. And then we're going to go to a deep dive, play-by-play of what I was able to witness today. So if you like the details, stick around to the end. If you don't like the details, then stick away midway through and you'll enjoy the show. So let me go ahead and give a few shout outs. I may have to throw on my glasses here today, but Darren Green, what's going on? KPM, good to see you. Oh, Mark Tillman, what's going on with you? Good to see you as well. So if you guys, super chats are always welcome and needed here at Charlotte Vibe, independent media being 100% supported by you, or memberships. I think it's like $3 or $4 a month. So it helps. If you're able to do so, I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these photographs from today. Again, first day of practice with the pads on. We got some action going for you. So here you go. Can't quite see the player's number, but I feel like that might be Jimmy Horn Jr. That's who I have a feeling that may be. I'm not 100%. What's up, Penny Capone? Appreciate you tuning in. Oh, man, that's my guy. Darren Bates. Getting the team ready to go. Very, very active. Very, very vocal coach. All right, let's continue to work through here. Yeah, this guy right here, I cannot tell exactly who this is, but we don't need to know who everybody is. We can just enjoy the action, right? All right, let's continue to work through some of these photographs. I know who that guy is. Teteroa McMillan. We got Adam Thielen out there doing some working out. Had the boys up in Minnesota at the lake doing some good things. Hold on. We got a fan, not a fan. We got a member that signed in. SC Panthers boy 803. What's up? What you think? Thank you for tuning in. We're just looking at some pictures right now, going through training camp. We got Bryce Young, Jake, Andy, all out there practicing today. And here we go. What's up, Trey Craig? Appreciate you tuning in as well. Going through some of these photographs from practice today. Here we go. We got action. TJ Luther. Get some hands on it. Good stuff to see these guys in practice today. And none other than the guy, Bryce Young, warming up, doing his thing. This guy looking strong on this play right here, right? This was a drill where they were just practicing on get to the quarterback here. So even though he's touching Plummer there. No harm, no foul. He was just touching there to get to him and tag him. But that's my man Trevin Wallace looking like he's just manhandling Raheem Blackshear as he goes to get to the quarterback there. He was also part of that scuffle that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Same picture. And these are doing some drills here. Well, Mello Dotson looked like he could not keep up with the other person in front of him. But yeah, there you go. So again, we'd like to start off with some photographs. Hope you guys like it. And hit that like button, everybody that's tuning in. Just to help everybody get familiar, because I know we're growing a lot when everybody knows what's going on. Each day that there's training camp, we have 2 videos that we're going to push out. The first one is highlights from practice. That video gets pushed out by about 1 o'clock. So if you have not seen that one, jump on over to the rest of the videos on the channel. Look at that. A lot of people love the highlight videos. I got feedback that you guys want to see every rep and every drill if possible. So that video is now longer, as I took that approach to having, every guy go through the drill so that you all can watch it and break it down. And again, if you use the videos, I don't mind. Just give me a shout out, give me a tag to show some love back to me. That's not a problem at all. That's the first video. It's the highlights video. And then the second video is this recap video, which seems to be happening about 4 o'clock Eastern time every day. So if you have questions, best way to get to me is make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification so that you can come on and join me live here as I go through my recap. So let's go ahead and talk about Dave Canales as he spoke with the media today, and he actually disclosed who's been impressing him along that defensive line today. I'll tell you, my focus today was going to be on the defensive line. I got to break this down for you. Media sometimes get frustrated during training camp because though we are there the entire time, we don't have the best vantage point during practice. So, yeah, I know in Spartanburg, I would actually leave the media area and go up on the hill and be able to watch so I could have a decent vantage point to be able to analyze practice. Here in Charlotte, we don't have that option. We used to have a slight hill, but they're doing construction and we can't see. But really where I'm going with this is, it's not always the best vantage point because we're ground level with all the players, and a lot of times there's a line of players literally 50 yards in front of you, pretty much blocking the play. So I really wanted to dive into the defensive line and break that down for you guys. I'm not able to do that yet, so just know I'm just going to do it whenever I can. Whenever I see the practice lines up in a way that allows us to really see it, then I'm going to break it down more. But Dave Canales did speak today on what he is noticing about his defensive line.
I would say first and foremost, Turk Wharton. Great to have Derek back, but I think just kind of the style and energy that he's working with. Ashawn looks great. Ashawn has worked, you can tell this summer, you can tell this spring, just really taking care of his body and the way that we're repping Ashawn right now to allow him to get in there, get his work. We don't have to overwork him. We got a lot of guys we got to look at, but he's looked really explosive. He's playing with length, and so I'm really excited about that group.
Shoot, just football play. He's playing hard. That's what coach preaches. So, nothing to be mad about. It's just football. So, Obviously, a lot of emotions in it, but he's playing hard, and that's what we need. So I love it.
But you seemed mad at the time.
I mean, no, I mean, football's all about emotions. Obviously, I got hit, reacted a certain way, but like I said, he's playing hard, and I can't be mad about that.
So there you go. We weren't having audio problems. I had my first whoopsies of the preseason with being on mute. But I was talking about Turk Warden as far as coach. I talked about him. Then I talked about Chuba Hubbard, and I described the play in which Chuba just talked about, which was I'm watching through the binoculars and see Chuba running, and what I think triggered Chuba was the fact that Chuba didn't really come and lean into the hit or try to go at Trevin. He was just kind of running straight up and tall. And Trevin came at him at a pretty good speed, popped him pretty high, dropped him pretty hard. So much so that he just went and flew. And so pretty much as soon as Chuba landed, he got up and got in Trevin's face. So do I think he'd do it again if that situation happened? Yeah, because it was almost like a defensive. Now, it wasn't like the wide receivers coming across the middle type defenseless play, but he wasn't trying to get at Trevin like that. So, but he did say this. He said, once he's done talking with the media today, going to go in the locker room and talk to Trev. He's sure they'll be fine. Football is football. So there you have it there. And thank you all for saying that I was muted, because I was muted. But nevertheless, we're a team here. You guys collaborate, help me out, let me know when I'm muted and whatnot. So let's continue to work through everything. And I think I had another member sign on, so I got to always make sure I stop and give my members love. So I got to give this to Panthers Boy 803. And shout out to you. Thank you very much. And then I thought I saw one more. Yep, here we go. And then we had Nicole. Remember here saying that I was muted. Yeah, a little early season mistake there with me being on mute as I was trying to come back. But I'm back. We won't have those mistakes once the season starts. All right, we got one more interview that I want to share with you. My man Hunter Renfro, which a lot of you are excited about. I'm certainly intrigued about this guy. I want to see how well he does. And this guy has some footwork. To me, it's like Christian McCaffrey level footwork that Hunter Renfro has. And today, he talked about it. I thought it was pretty interesting. So I had the clip with Hunter Renfro talking about his route running, where his creativity came from. I'm going to put up a separate video where Hunter's talking about, what he went through and what caused his absence from the game. I think it's pretty good. I think it's too long to play in this segment right here. So I'm just going to upload a video separately. So look for that, courtesy of the Carolina Panthers, but I'm going to put that video up to share with you guys. But here's Hunter talking about his creativity and running routes.
I think the DBs see the same route since they were in middle school, right? They see if someone runs a basic route, an in cut, they see that big step, run in, big step, run in. So just trying to use that against them, right? Trying to show them something they've seen 1,000 times and give them a little change up, right? And really just think about what you do. Coach Swinney's big thing is, all right, win every route vertical. If you can make them think you're running vertical, you can go whichever way you want. That's the biggest threat as a receiver, is the ability to run by them. And so trying to set that up and then throwing curveballs and change-ups in there has been good. And so I have a whole year of just kind of thinking things in my brain when I wasn't playing, that now I can actually feel good enough to go do them. And so maybe I'll get a little too creative at times, but it's been fun to try things out.
Wasn't going to do it to you twice. Wasn't going to do it twice in one video. But there's Hunter Renfro talking about he had a year off to think about football, to watch football, and get creative and think of some things. So that's what he's out there able to do now, is be really creative with his route running. And I like that deep thought of hey, these guys, they look for things. And they see when you plant your foot like this, you're going to do that. And you can think about that, but not every guy can know, if I plant my foot like that, that's going to cue him off. But how many guys can change it up and do what he does? So definitely we'll continue to Follow this team with lots of highlights, provide to you all as many videos as we can, and then dissect things. So today was the first day of practice with pads on, chance to start to really get to see some things. But to be honest with you, they didn't do a lot in a way that allowed you to really get into dissecting things. I think Coach is probably still wanting to slowly ramp things up with guys being in pads. It's being pretty hot out there. They had a few breaks going off into that cooling trailer. Definitely had some action, but still just not for me where I could really become critical. But here's the good part. So went through the photos from practice today, just dropped through the player and coach interviews, and now we're going to go into some parts where it's detailed. We're going to go into detail. So there was 3 periods that we were able to track today. They did a team, they did 7-on-7, and then they went back to 2 team sessions. And there's a lot of plays in here. So I'm gonna go a little bit fast through them. But you're welcome to replay it, slow it down, write down your notes. But I'm gonna go through it a little bit fast just so I don't spend 30 minutes reading to you the breakdown of plays. So it seemed like there was a lot of runs today to Chuba Hubbard, and Bryce Young, unsurprisingly, had, I would guess, and glancing at my playlist here, Bryce Young had about 70% of the plays. Andy Dalton had about 30%, and then Plummer had 0%, which may explain why I saw Plummer doing practice just running up and down the field, I guess just trying to stay loose in the event that they said, all right, Plummer, get in there and run 2 or 3 plays. So let's go ahead and get through this. Bryce Young. John Morales. What's up with you? Appreciate you tuning in. All right. First play, Bryce Young hands off to Chuba Hubbard. Bryce Young hands off to Rico Dowdle. Bryce Young handoff, I did not see who it was to. Andy Dalton with a handoff to Monty Bailey. Andy Dalton with a pass caught by K-Ron Lynch Adams. Bryce Young with a handoff to Chuba. Bryce Young with a handoff to Chuba. Derek Brown got in on that tackle. Man, that's a big body. Our run defense will be improved simply by having Derek Brown out there, even if we had the exact same people from last year. He was impressive where he just clogged up the hole and got the Chuba on that play. Bryce Young with a handoff to Rico Dowdle. It was a good hole that the O-line had for Rico up the middle on that play. Andy Dalton with a pass to Jalen Coker over the middle, and Andy Dalton with a handoff to running back Trevor. Now, what I will say is this. I know there's been discussion of Jalen Coker. Will he make it? Won't he make it? And you can't say something like that after 1 week because it's just the beginning. And, Coach said today, sometimes the ball just doesn't have a chance to find everybody that you're trying to evaluate, especially when you have the depth that they currently have. So he did get some catches today. So that was the team session right there. That was 11 plays that I calculated there. And most of them, it was a pretty good mix. 1, 2, 3. No, that was heavy run. So very heavy run today during the first session of team with pads on, all right? Now we're going to go to 7-on-7, which is obviously going to be about passing. So here we go. Bryce Young complete to Adam Thielen. Bryce Young complete to James Mitchell. Bryce Young with a completion to Xavier Legette. He came from the slot position on that one and across the middle. Bryce Young with a completion to Thielen again. Andy Dalton with a completion to Hunter Renfro. Excellent grab, says my notes, coming across the middle. Looked impressive. And it was just like the way he snagged that ball with his paws, man. It just stood out to me as he was falling. So I wanted to notate that and share that with you guys about Hunter now in pads, still doing his thing. Next play was completion. Was not able to see who that play was completed to. Next pass was incomplete from Dalton to Sanders, and that play was broken up by Shamar Bartholomew. Bryce Young comes back in, completes to T-Mac. Nice catch using his hands, defended by Corey Thornton. And what I could say, my observations are from Tetaroa is that he's not going to look as impressive as Hunter Renfro or Jimmy Horn Jr. running routes. From like, woo, woo, woo. But he does look impressive. And I'm not saying he does not look impressive, but, yes, by all means, those guys, because they're so twitchy, it just stands out. But for T-Mac, you can just see that he's a big target. He's a big target, and he has good hands so far. So, has a large catch radius. And he's doing a good job of getting the ball out with his hands. So far, so good from T-Mac. Bryce Young with a back shoulder throw to David Moore. Really good intentions there. That pass was defended by, again, Corey Thornton. Second good play by him in a row. But it was a good pass breakup. Really good pass breakup by Corey Thornton on that play. Bryce Young went down the middle again to Tetaroa. So certainly getting his groove with Tetaroa. We're going to see how this all works out. So far it's looking like Tetaroa, Xavier, and Adam will be your first three. Renfro is certainly looking like he's knocking on the door, and then we're going to see how things balance out. I haven't made a deep dive into my current projections for these wide receivers yet. Maybe by Wednesday, which will be a chance to go through 3 more practices. I'll start to give you all some of my deeper opinions on that. But right now, just love the competition. Love the competition. It's going to make all these guys better when there's competition out there. Last play from 7-on-7 was Andy Dalton with a completion to Raheem Blackshear. All right, we're going to keep working through this. Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this detailed breakdown. If you want to see me continue to do this, let me know. I didn't do any play-by-play breakdowns last week. I'm doing it this week. Man of the people, I work for you, so give me the feedback if you like it. I'll keep doing it. Another note, because Jimmy Horn Jr., it's like he's exciting to watch, but it's a lot of guys that are fast, exciting to watch, and they don't make the teams because they don't have enough of oomph to make it. So today I made a point to look at him closely while they're doing special team drills, thinking that may be a way that he can slide himself onto the active roster instead of being on a practice squad. So in watching him today on special teams, my breakdown is that he can be a returner on special teams, but him being a blocker, him being a gunner, from what I saw today in practice, certainly he can work on this and get better at it. But he just doesn't have the size to really be in that kind of role. When I saw him today in the drills, working with the gunners, etc., or trying to be a gunner, he was just outmatched by the defender each time due to his weight and size. So he's still, in my opinion, I want to see him do some returns, see if that's an option for him. But Hunter Renfro could still be a guy that does returns as well. So we'll see. We'll continue to break it down, but I want to share that information with you guys. And let's go back to teams. Bryce Young with a completion to Tetaroa once again. So I don't know. I didn't tabulate all this heavily before I got on air, but that seems like 5 already to Tetaroa. Bryce Young with an incompletion, did not see who that was to. Bryce Young with a handoff, did not see who that was to. And again, the way they line up in front of us, sometimes it's just flat out impossible to see the play. So that's, again, why I cannot get you the breakdown that I want to on that defensive line yet, because it's so hard to see. Andy Dalton then comes in with shotgun to Trevor, and then Andy Dalton with a completion to Jalen Coker, who was defended by Caleb Evans. Andy Dalton with another handoff to Raheem Blackshear. Bryce Young comes back in, shotgun, completion to guess who? Tetaroa. So from day one in pads, Tetaroa seems to be the target that Bryce Young likes. And Coach Canales today said that Hunter Renfro seems to be the target that Andy Dalton likes. Who knows? First day in pass, but just sharing. All right, Bryce Young in a shotgun handoff to Chuba. Chuba did not have too many places to go. I'm sorry, Plummer did get in. No. Plummer did not get in. That was just a note about Plummer. Bryce Young in a shotgun flush out of the pocket. Not sure by who, but he had to. He rolled out, threw the ball downfield. Again, could not see who that ball was completed to, but I did see that it was caught. Andy Dalton's back in, shotgun, completion. Here we go with this theme, not sure too. Yeah, doing this one session here, they were just really not giving me a good angle to see the plays all the way through. Andy Dalton then was in the shotgun and completed the pass to T.J. Luther. Next up, we had field goals. So Ron Fitzgerald was up today. He was 4 or 5 on the skinny goalpost, the narrow goalpost, making 4 or 5, only missing his very last one from far away. Don't know the distance on that because everything shifted where you can't see the exact markers on the field. But he missed that one. I think it was wide left. Yeah, I know it was wide left because it was to my right. So kicker would have been wide left on his final missed kick. So 4 or 5. So these kickers are continuing to be 4 or 5, and it seems like it's going to be something that comes down to how they perform in a real game. So we have one more team drill that we're going to go through. If you're watching and you have not hit the like button, why not? But also continue to give me your feedback about what you see on the show. And for those that are leaving comments at this second, I cannot see them, but once I go through this final team drill section, I will gander at the comments. Bryce Young, short drop off to the tight end, the rookie tight end, Mitchell Evans. Bryce Young with a little play action, dropped the ball off to Rico Dowdle. Next play, Bryce Young, he scrambled, had nowhere to go. Bryce Young with a handoff to Trevor, and he had nowhere to go. So a few of these looks like, or feels like at the later part of practice, they really started defensively playing very well, not giving the offense as many options. Andy Dalton then comes in, again, nowhere to go, ran it out. So again, defense, I'd say the first few sessions were about 50-50, but this last session, the defense seemed to really lock it in on the offense, as there was a lot of short stuff and quarterbacks would know where to run. Andy Dalton then dumps the ball off to Carolina Lynch-Adams, and then this is late, but this is when Bryce Young dumps it off to Chuba, and then Chuba gets the big hit by Trevor Wallace in the little scuffle and shoot. And then Chuba actually got the ball knocked out of his hands by that hit from Trevin. And I don't know if it happened on the hit. He said it probably did, but he had a noticeable big red mark across his forehead. And yeah, to have a mark like that, again, that means he got him really good up high. And that was what sent him flying, and obviously he did not like and wanted Trevin to know about that. Bryce Young then dumps the ball to Jatavian Sanders, and this was a nice looking play by the big guys running out. All the big guys ran out, got downfield, blocked for him pretty well. Now the defense, obviously with, why am I losing this? Gosh darn, I'm having a brain fart on our defensive coordinator. Oh, I can see his face. Evero. Whoa, EJ. So EJ loves to teach knocking the ball out of hands, and so players are trying to do that, and unfortunately hit Sanders in his lower body that caused him some pain, and he had to crawl off the field, but it seems like he was fine, but he did get hurt getting hit on that play. Bryce Young with a handoff to Trevor with some really nice moves on that play. Andy Dalton with a completion to Mitchell Evans. So I see here two completions to the rookie tight end Mitchell Evans. Good to see. Andy Dalton spreading the ball around, showing some love, and then Andy Dalton with a handoff to Raheem Blackshear. So that'll be the wrap up on all the plays that I saw today. Hopefully you guys appreciated that, but if you didn't, let me know. I'm here working for you. If you don't like something that that I'm doing, let me know so I can make the adjustments for you. All right, so let's go through a few of these comments here. What's going on, Ali Bodrick? John Morales says, what's up, Chris? Jumping in late at work currently, popping in and saying, hey, stay cool and hydrated in the heat. Appreciate you, John. Appreciate you very much. What's good, man? Would love to work with you one day. So, I don't know if you're talking about working physically for the Charlotte Vibe team, or if you're talking about working with you coming onto your podcast or show that you may be doing. So, if that is the case, yeah, certainly open for it. Would not mind. Love being a part of everybody's community out there. Hudson Bruce and what have I seen? So I just went through the play-by-play. You know, mentioned a few times Trevor getting the ball. Saw some nice moves out there from him on a couple of plays. So, you know, he's behind a few guys, but I like what I saw with some shiftiness from him today. Didn't see a lot of plays because we're not full-on contact yet, but a little bit. Donald Byers, did not mean to hit that sound effect. Let's try a better one here. There we go. Yo, love it. Thanks, brother. Hey, Donald, thank you for being a member. If you're not a member and you're considering it, please do so. You know, if you have the ability to do so. Independent media, we really need funds from super chats, memberships. I'm currently set to travel to 7 of the 9, I believe it's road games, or 8 of 10. 8 of 10. I usually drive down to Atlanta. Would love to do them all. Last year I was able to do every single game for the first time in Charlotte Vibes history. So with your support, can do it again, and we'll certainly continue to dive deep, give you all the content that you love and like if we are able to do so. So, Mr. Unapologetic. That'll be today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. They have practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're off Thursday. And then we're back at it again Friday. And we got Fan Fest on Saturday. We'll continue to bring you all the information that we need, that you want. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.